Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia, and with the new year comes new games. So here's a list of the 10 games that are coming to the channel in 2022. Most of this list will consist of new releases, but I also added a few older titles that I didn't get a chance to play last year. So in no particular order, let's get this video started. And kicking things off, we have Sifu, set to release on February 8th. Now Sifu, which means master in Cantonese, presents a fresh take on the hardcore fighter genre by adding roguelike elements and story components, as you play a martial arts master seeking to take down 5 underworld bosses. Along the way, you'll fight a bevy of enemies using your martial arts skills and the environment, drawing inspiration from classic Jackie Chan movies of old. Then with each death, you will gain the ability to spend your hard-earned experience points on new moves and combos, essential to core fighting games like Street Fighters, before returning to the exact point of your death. Only with each revive, your characters will age, before ultimately dying of old age to end each run, forcing you to return to the very beginning of the game to try again. Except your new run will be built on the knowledge of your previous life, as you will retain all the movesets and clues on the 5 underworld bosses, granting you access to shortcuts that were previously locked in your earlier runs, in a very similar fashion to games like Deathloop. Overall, Sifu promises to give the player the opportunity to roleplay as a martial arts master, which has always been a childhood dream of mine. Now, even though the game officially launches on February 8th, if you do pre-order the deluxe edition like I have, you will actually have 48-hour early access, so expect Sifu to come to the channel on February 6th. Next up, we have Total War Warhammer III, set to release on February 17th, and since the majority of my content on this channel is Total War related, this game should come as no surprise for the majority of you, and as a content partner with Creative Assembly, I will also be getting early access to the game. So when the pre-release embargoes are lifted later this month, expect a ton of content in the forms of previews, guides, let's plays, and multiplayer battles. Then moving on to another game with a firm release date, we have Dynasty Warrior 9 Empires, set to release with the English localization on February 15th. Now, like previous Dynasty Warrior Empires titles, this 9th iteration will allow players to create their own characters and take part in the strategic takeover of all of China during the Three Kingdoms period, using the same colorful cast of characters from Dynasty Warrior 9, with a revamp of the failed open world system, as the franchise returns to a more traditional Dynasty Warrior experience, focusing on smaller battle maps. And after skipping out on Dynasty Warrior 9, I'm pretty eager to give Empires a try, so expect a full Let's Play on the channel starting on February 15th. Next, we have Company of Heroes 3, which currently does not have a firm release date. This World War II game is probably my most anticipated game this year, as Company of Hero franchise shifts towards a more Total War-like formula with their newest installment, set to take place in the often ignored Italian theaters of the World War II. A short beta and multiplayer playtest of the game took place last year, and even though I did not cover it on the channel, I did enjoy it in private. And while all of you might know me only as a Three Kingdoms history buff, my first love in terms of history has to be World War II, and ever since I found out about Company of Heroes 3, I've been pretty busy brushing up on my Italian theater history with books like James Holland's Sicily 43, which I highly recommend. Then moving on, we have Hogwarts Legacy, which also currently does not have a firm release date, but rumor has it will be launching sooner rather than later this year, as this also happens to be the 20th anniversary of the first Harry Potter movie, and with the reunion special coming to HBO soon, and the new Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore movie set to be released on April 15th, I fully expect Warner Bros., who is also publishing the game, to try to have the game ready for the first half of the year. Now, as someone who grew up in the 1990s, Harry Potter was one of the first big books I read in English, which was no small feat for someone who was just starting to learn the language at the time. So the chance to play an open world Harry Potter themed game set in Hogwarts in the late 1800s is definitely one that I will be jumping in. Next up, we have another callback to my childhood with Pharaoh: A New Era. which currently does not have a firm release date either. Now this game is a remaster of the classic Pharaoh game, which was released all the way back in 1999. It is not made by the same developers, but unlike many other Egyptian-themed city builders that's set to release this year, Pharaoh: A New Era will play exactly like the original game. It is truly a remastered game, and it adds the content from the Cleopatra Queen of the Nile expansion with over 50 missions to the game. Now, when I was younger, I spent countless hours in this game, and I look forward to doing the same when this game launches later this year. Next up, we have Frostpunk 2, which currently only has a teaser video and no firm release date. What we do know about the game is that it will take place after the events of the first game, and that the new energy resource of oil will play a key role in the game. Apart from that, we will just have to wait and see. And also, I have this feeling that there is a decent chance that this game will get delayed into 2023, so we'll just have to cross our fingers and hope for the best. Then moving on, we have another sequel in The Darkest Dungeon 2, which technically already released in early access last year on Epic Games, but a full release expected to come sometime later this year on all platforms. While retaining the same combat mechanics of the first game, the new game does make major changes to the premise of the original, as it does forgo party management and the long-form campaign for a much more grounded and shorter campaign experience. The initial feedback has been mixed, but with only one of the 5 promised campaigns available currently in early access, there's still hope for optimism, as I plan to wait for a full release before covering the game on the channel. Now, with all the new upcoming games out of the way, I have 2 more titles that were launched last year, but for a variety of reasons I did not get a chance to play them. So first up, we have a Chinese game called Far Away, or 海沙风云. While I have done quite a few Chinese games here on the channel, this game will have a unique challenge, as the voice acting is done entirely in Cantonese, which is a southern Chinese dialect that I do not speak or understand. Fortunately, the game does have Chinese subtitles, so I will still be able to understand the game and provide the English translation for the viewers. Now, in terms of gameplay, this is a visual novel narrative choice game, similar to Suzerain, except it will have much better artwork and a slightly heavier emphasis on dating. Overall, the game has been reviewed extremely well, and it has also won quite a few Chinese gaming awards last year, so I do look forward to experience it myself sometime this year. Lastly, we have Inscryption, which came out late last year as well. This is another highly rated Steam game that I've been looking forward to playing, especially since I have a particular soft spot for card games in general. And after missing out on playing games such as Slay the Spire and Thronebreaker here on the channel, I feel like this roguelike card game with escape room and horror elements will probably make for the perfect Halloween special later this year. So that is my top 10 new games I hope to bring to the channel in 2022. Of course, this list is tentative and not comprehensive. Hopefully you are all excited about what's coming to the channel this year. And of course, if you have another great game suggestion, feel free to drop a comment below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. So until then, bye!